Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lovet. Today I'm going to be making a tutorial on how to cut a placket and how to sew it. So the first thing I need to do, which I have done already, is to cut out my front body pattern. Here it is. This is my front body pattern in which I will be attaching my placket to. So the next thing I'm going to do is to fold it into two like this. Fold it into two, and I will iron it. I will iron the center out in order to have to know where the center falls, and I am going to notch it. I'm going to notch it a little at the top. So the next thing to do is to decide on how long I want my placket to be, and the and how wide I want it to be. I'm going to be using the length of 7 inches. I want it to be 7 inches. You can see I have like 10 inches here. I am going to be, and after the 7 inches, I am going to be folding it in. So I need like 2 inches more. Then I will cut out the excess. So for the that's for the length. So for the wideness, I want it to be like 1.5 inch, and I have 3.5 inch here because I will have to fold it in a little here, at least with half an inch, and here as well I'll be folding it in with half an inch, and to be piping it in, I'll be needing some allowance as well. So I for the wideness, I decided to use 3.5 inches. So it depends on how long you want your horn to be, how long you want your placket to be. I decided to use 7 inches for mine. You can decide to use 6 inches. You can decide to use 8 inches, but for my horn, I'm using 7 inches for my length, and for the wideness, I'm using 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches, but I am cutting out 3.5 inches here. So let's move on. So the next thing to do after cutting out my blankets, after deciding on the length and the weight, the next thing to do is to iron a stay at the wrong side of my fabric. So I have ironed it already. You can as well iron a stay at the wrong side of your fabric after cutting it out, and it's going to be in two pieces like this. I i cut two pieces out. Here is one and here is another one. One is going to be at the right side, while one is going to be here and one is going to be here. So the next thing to do is to turn my fabric, my front body pattern, to the wrong side. This is the wrong side and this is the right side. So you can see this is the wrong side. So I'm going to measure out the 7 inches I will be needing. So here it is, my 7 inches. You can see the effect of the ironing is there already, so I won't need to stress out myself before I can know the center. So here is my 7 inches. So the next thing to do now is to place one of my blankets on my fabric like this. Don't forget, I am doing all this on the wrong side of the cloth. So after placing it like this, I am going to take it to the machine and I'm going to sew half inch. Remember I said I'm going to sew half inch from here. So I'm going to sew half inch right from the top to my 7 inches, to this 7 inches that I left. So I'm going to sew right from the top to the 7 inches that I left. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other one as well. I am going to sew from the top to the 7 inches I leave. So I have done that. As you can see, this is my 7 and I stop right at the 7 inches, as you can see. So the next thing to do now is to go up by, right from that 7, is to go up by half inch. So I'm going up by half inch right from the 7, half inch. See, right from the 7 inches that I will be using, then I'm going up by half inch. So the next thing to do is to cut it open from the point that I notched the other side, the other time. I'm going to cut it open from the center, and I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to stop at the point where I come up by half inch. Then I'm going to cut diagonally to the two sides. I'm going to cut it here a little, and I'm going to stop right at that 7 inches. Then I'm going to cut to the other side as well a little. I'm going to stop by the 7 inches as well. Make sure you do not cut the blanket that you've sewn down already. You just cut it a little, so it will be easier to turn it over. That is just the main reason why you can see a little, so it will be easier to turn it over. So then I'll turn my fabric to my right side, then I'll bring it out like this. I'll bring out my blanket like this. So remember I said I'm going to be folding in half an inch here as well. So here is the half an inch. I have folded it in. Then I make sure this is inside as well. I'm going to be placing it on top of this like this. You make sure you put this in, then you're going to place it right on top like this. You can see. So I'm going to be taking it to the machine now. I'm going to sew a little right from the top, and I'm going to stop at the 7 inches here. I am going to sew it from the top, and I'm going to stop at the 7 inches. You can see I've done that for the two sides. You can see how beautiful it looks, how neat it looks. I've done that for the two sides. And here is what I have at the back. You can see the back is neat, just as the front. So the next thing to do now is to place it on top of each other like this. You can see it's already facing each other, so I'm going to place it on top of each other like this. And the next thing to do, this is my 7 inches, this is where I stopped. So the next thing to do after placing it on top of each other, I am going to take it to my machine, and I am going to sew it here. I'm going to place it on my machine, and I am going to sew it here just to hold it down. You can see after sewing it, this is how it will look. It will look like, after sewing it, it will look like this. So I'm going to take it to my machine. I'm going to sew it like this. Then after doing that, the next thing I will be doing is to fold it in. I'm going to cut the excess for this place. I'm going to cut it out like this. So, and I'm going to fold this in like this. I'm going to fold it in like this, and I'm going to sew it from here Then I'll turn it like this. I'll sew this, turn it like this again, and I'll sew it here as well. So let me go and do that and show you how. Now here is what I have after sewing this place. I come down and I go this way, then I come up again. Now you see how beautiful it looks. Then I ironed it out. So to have a beautiful blanket, you must be ready to iron it out very well. See how beautiful it looks. See the wrong side. The wrong side is looking so neat and beautiful, just as the right side. See, so our blanket is ready. It's ready. So here we've come to the end of today's tutorial. Please, if this tutorial has been helpful, please, I would like you to give me a thumb up and to subscribe to my channel in order to know whenever I drop a new video. Thank you. God bless you.